मेरा नाम मोहम्मद अशरफ है। मैं गोले गंडे का और ये शरबत का काम करता हूँ, गली गली घूमता हूँ। हर माँ बाप यही चाहता है कि उसका बच्चा या बच्ची अच्छे स्कूल में पढ़े और उसका जो फ्यूचर होता है माँ बाप की आंखों में ख्वाब होते हैं। मेरी ये ख्वाहिश थी कि मेरी बच्ची इंग्लिश मीडियम में पढ़े। हमारी कहाँ हैसियत थी कि किसी बड़े महंगे स्कूल में पढ़ा सकें। हमारे ख़ानदान से कभी कोई बच्ची कॉलेज में नहीं पढ़ी और उम्मीद करता हूँ कि मेरी बेटी इंशाल्लाह आगे और कॉलेज जाएगी इंशाल्लाह।
हमारे बच्चे स्कूल जाते हैं ना, हमें बहुत खुशी आती है। हमारी यही ख्वाहिश थी जो हमारे बच्चे पढ़ें और कुछ बने। हमारी हैसियत थी नहीं जो हम बच्चों को पढ़ा पाएं।
मेरा नाम सोगरा है, मैं मैरीन की अम्मी हूँ। ये मेरा घर अपना नहीं, ये मेरा किराए का है। यहाँ मैं एक घरों में काम करती हूँ, बस छोटा मोटा हो जाता है। और मेरे जो मेरे शौहर जो है वो रिक्शा चलाते हैं। मेरे 5 बच्चे हैं, जिसमें से 2 मेरे बेटे हाफिज हैं और जो है एक मेरी बेटी महरीन है, अल फुरकान में पढ़ती है। और एक बेटा मेरा 11 साल का है, वो भी अल फुरकान में। और मेरी ख्वाहिश है कि मेरी बेटी पढ़े। जो मेरे 2 बेटे हैं वो नहीं पढ़ सके, हाफिज कुरान है। तो मैं कहती हूँ कि मैं अपने बच्चों को थोड़ी तालीम दूँ। इतना सा मेरी है कि मेरी बेटी कुछ बने आगे। मेरी बेटी को बहुत शौक है और मेरा भी दिल करता है मेरी बच्ची पढ़े, पढ़ लिख के कुछ बने।
मैं अल फुरकान स्कूल में पढ़ती हूँ, ब्रांच 1 में। एस्पायरिंग फ्यूचर के मेंटोरशिप प्रोग्राम से मुझे बहुत फ़ायदा हो रहा है। मेरी मेंटोर बहुत अच्छा पढ़ाती हैं, उनका नाम आयजा मुनीर है और उनके पढ़ाने की वजह से मेरी इंग्लिश बहुत इम्प्रूव हो गई है। मेरी अम्मी एक हाउसवाइफ है और मेरे अब्बू एक ड्राइवर हैं, ड्राइवर का काम करते हैं। उनकी बहुत ज़्यादा ख्वाहिश है कि मैं अच्छा पढ़ सकूँ, अच्छा पढ़ लिख के अच्छी ज़िंदगी गुजार सकूँ। और मेरा ख्वाब है आर्मी में जाना, मुझे बहुत पसंद है। और उनकी ये ख्वाहिश है कि मैं इतना अच्छा पढ़ सकूँ कि मैं अपने ख्वाबों को पूरा कर सकूँ, अपनी ज़िंदगी बेहतर से बेहतर गुजार सकूँ।
Pakistan is a country of 240 million people. According to the report of UNICEF, an estimated 22.8 million children aged 5 to 16 are out of school, which is more than the total number of people living in the state of Florida. Aspiring Futures is dedicated to transforming Pakistan's education system by fostering innovative approaches and providing underprivileged children with access to quality education and living, paving the way for a brighter and more equitable future for all. We are a team of enthusiastic Pakistanis in the USA who want to transform Pakistan through education. In our flagship mentorship program, more than 40 students from the USA and Canada dedicated their time to serve as mentors for their counterparts in Pakistan. We recently relocated our girls' shelter home to a bigger facility, alongside inaugurating a new shelter home for boys. Supported the complete living and educational costs of several students, while also providing living cost assistance to some families. Aspiring Futures is fully funding the operational cost of one school building. In collaboration with Al Furqan Welfare Organization, we have started construction of a new boys' shelter home and school for underprivileged children. Phase 1 is completed while phases 2 and 3 are currently underway. What counts in life is not the mere fact that we have lived. It is what difference we have made to the lives of others that will determine the significance of the life we lead. Support education. Support Aspiring Futures.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Yasmin Barde. I'm one of the advisory members of Aspiring Futures USA, and today I'm joined by some of our founding members as well as our board and advisor members. I have here with me the founder and CEO of Aspiring Futures, Uzma Qureshi. I just wanted to ask you a few questions about this amazing organization. Can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind starting Aspiring Futures USA and the mission?
Recently, last few years when I went to Pakistan, I noticed the number of children on the street is growing. Every time I just go there, I see children working and begging for and also selling small stuff. So why these children are on streets instead of going to school? So after doing some research, I found that number one, the children, they are source of income for their family. Parents don't want to send them to school because they think that if they will lose their source of income.
So another reason is that Pakistan, we have lack of resources, increasing population, government schools are shutting down. So there's a long list of those factors. So when I came back to US, I met my close friends here in US, and we all thought that maybe we should start working and try to resolve this issue in Pakistan, because just by solving the education issue is not enough. We also need to motivate these families to send their children to school. So we just thought that, okay, let's do something different, because we also like not only education but also work towards their quality living. So Alhamdulillah, Aspiring Future, right now we have started 2 shelter homes in Pakistan. We are also assisting some families, providing them financial assistance, and also sponsorship for the education and living both. So we are doing great, Alhamdulillah, so far, growing a number of sponsorships. So this is a presentation. Thank you.
I was blessed to get an opportunity to get on board and help kick off this amazing organization. I've been involved with the mentorship program, which actually is what makes us different. So in this program, we have volunteers from high school and universities across Canada and US, which provide a one-on-one guidance to the students, these deserving students. And with the program is designed so they uplift their communication skills, confidence, and self-esteem. Along the way, we've also noticed that the mentors of students have also developed a more personal relationship, which definitely is a plus on the side.
The personal touch is definitely unique, for sure.
Absolutely.
What are some major challenges that this organization has faced along its journey, and how have you overcome that?
There are definitely some challenges. 2 major ones that come to mind are, the first one, we all know the issues with power and internet outages. So that does create some level of frustration between the students and mentors. They are sometimes unable to connect, or if they connect, their calls drop. So along the way, they've learned that they just have to be patient, reconnect, reschedule if allowable. And then the best part is we have teams both here in the US and in Pakistan who get together and fill in the communication gaps to help these students stay motivated. The second issue that comes to mind is there are a lot of financial deserving students out there, and we just don't have enough funds to be able to help them all. So besides quality education, we want to be able to provide financial assistance to their families so they can focus on education. Some issues are they have medical expenses. They have a sick family member, so they depend highly on additional income to keep the students, to keep the family going. So if you take the students out from their jobs to support the families, they're not able to meet their expenses. The other issue is there's a lot of single parents with multiple children. They're already having issues meeting, they're hand to mouth, living hand to mouth, barely meeting their financial struggles. So by providing with additional funds, we can provide financial assistance to the families and then ensure that, inshallah, these kids have a brighter future.
It's great to hear how you've overcome these obstacles. Thank you so much for sharing.
A long-time Houston resident, as you know, 30 years plus, and have volunteered with multiple organizations over the past. And currently I volunteer for an Islamic private school here in Houston, which is one of the larger ones. And when I compare that with some of the opportunities that Aspiring Futures provides us, there is a huge contrast, right? The private Islamic school I volunteer at, 500 odd kids, mostly well-to-do parents, and there's no shortage of resources. Yet as a volunteer, we struggle with providing the resources to make the school available and functional and go to the next level. When I compare that with an organization like Aspiring Futures and the kids involved there, the biggest challenge I see is that those kids and those institutions have probably 5% of the resources we have. But the desire is there. They are ready to make a change in their life. They're ready to grow. They are ready to, not just change their life, but impact their families in a meaningful way. So what's lacking? And what's lacking is, the people to volunteer, people to put in their time, and people to put in the effort. So I don't think we have the luxury of thinking, well, someone else will do it. Well, these kids will be fine, we'll do it for the next batch of kids. I think the time is now to do it. I think it's these kids who need it. And if not us to do it, who else will? And with the last thing that I want to point out is you kind of start from where you are, right? You don't worry about the challenge ahead. You really look at the resources, you look at your intention, and then you start. And then the barakah comes from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So if you adopt that approach, I've seen it in the multiple initiatives I've been blessed to engage with. And in every initiative, it's grown by leaps and bounds. And inshallah, the same will happen with Aspiring Futures.
It's great to hear about the impact you've made and what drives you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Aspiring Futures has a lot of great work actively taking place. I have here with me the Secretary of Aspiring Futures, Taha Hussain. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the projects that Aspiring Futures has in place?
Sure, thank you, Yasmin. We started, I would like to highlight the mentorship program. From the very inception of Aspiring Futures, we designed this program as other members talked about. We currently have 40 students being in the mentorship program that are sponsored by the donors for their education. And then in addition to that, we also have 2 shelters that we're running, that we are running, one for girls and one for boys. And then we're also running a school. Basically, when we started the shelter for the girls, we had a capacity of 19 girls, and now that we are planning to expand that to 30 girls. And then the school that we're running for boys is also functioning very well. And for future, we are thinking about growing the organization and also building another school for boys, which will be multi-level. The first floor will be a school, and then the top level will be a shelter. And the first phase is completed. So I'm here, part of the organization as a secretary, working on the donor base, so we can invite more donors to show the progress over the years and ask for more donations to support these projects that we have.
It's great to hear about all these amazing initiatives and future plans. Thank you so much.
So on a personal level, one of the principles that I've always lived by is one of the most selfish things an individual can do as a Muslim is to help other people. Now, what I mean by that is selfish in the way that you want to help yourself in the akhirah. So what better way to help yourself in the hereafter by helping somebody else here? And you never know what your help may turn into sadaqah jariyah. So, selfish not in the way that you're trying to, take any accolades or trying to be notarized for what you're doing, but selfish in the way that you want to build your bank account for the hereafter. And the best way to do that is to help other people. So when I looked at Aspiring Futures and looked at the opportunity, take for example the example of the young girl Aqsa that our founder mentioned earlier, right? Here's a girl that is not by herself. She's got a family behind her, she has siblings behind her. So if you're able to help one child, you're actually helping technically quote unquote a village, right? So the idea here is to see if any of these kids can actually make it successfully, because they'll impact the next generation. So to me, that's one of the key reasons why I got personally involved.
That's amazing to hear. How can people get involved and help support this organization?
Sure, there's many ways. Aspiring Future is very active on social media. There's a website that you can go to learn more about the organization. But more importantly, there's an upcoming opportunity for everyone, especially if you're in the Houston area. On November 12th, Aspiring Futures is having its second gala. It's a great opportunity to learn what the organization has done in a very short amount of time, and what are some of the upcoming ways that you can get involved in it. And the way to get involved in Aspiring Futures is not just through your donations. It's through your skills, it's through your volunteers, through your time. So I'm very confident that every single body that comes to this gala will have a find way to help Aspiring Futures grow.